catch an early movie.
I've seen everything in town. Besides, they don't open until noon. What infidel shall I say stuck his big foot in the door?
Make it a double feature.
You know, last summer, Mr. Surefoot, at a bash outside Beirut, a nice young man smiled at me across the crowded room. The colonel invited him out on the balcony, and there, overlooking the peaceful harbor, and with elaborate courtesy, broke his jaw in 3 places.
Country, the call to prayer is heard at 5 in the morning. It continues throughout the day. It takes a strong faith and an even stronger back to remain orthodox. Once, when I was young and impudent, I questioned so early an hour. But a holy man explained to me that the first prayer of the new day must necessarily be sent up at such an early hour. Otherwise, it would surely be drowned out by the whistling of starlings and the caw of crows. A morning symphony which begins clock-like at 5:15.
Where were you?
Our contact was to be limited to the meeting we had this morning. And to that meeting only, unless I called you in the code I gave you in New York.
When you didn't show up, I cut out. Now, just give me the envelope.
I gave it to you. You were standing at the corner as agreed. I reached out as I drove by and handed it to you.
We don't run with liars or amateurs, Colonel. Get yourself another boy.
Someday, in an unknown place which waits for me, I will die. But not here. Not today. There is the matter of the remaining $10,000 when you have completed your job. Hear that sound, Mr. Cadies? Not my prayers, nor starlings, nor crows, but a goose. Golden goose.
I guess what it was, all Americans look alike to you. Why not? I I can't tell your crowd one from the other with those sheets on. Okay, you saw a guy, you thought it was me, you made the pass. Okay, you'll open it, it won't mean anything. Just give me your copy, I'll take it from there.
Beneath what you call those sheets, he wears body armor at my insistence. But a high-velocity bullet...
I'm shooting him through the head.
Slapped a mackerel in my hand just as easily. That's what I like about manual labor. Why'd he do it? Who was he? You climb into a ditch, and then a guy says, "Okay, Mac, dig. Dig it so deep, so wide, and so long." So you dig. Mistaken identity, maybe. At the end of the day, you climb out, you stretch, you look down at what you've done, and there's the whole sweet mystery of life right there at your feet. All the problems solved. So deep, so wide, and so long. A ditch well dug, you've got tired muscles and no pressure on the brain. What are you talking about? Happy peasants. Okay, happy peasant, explain to me why somebody slipped me a timetable at some big shot's whirlwind tour of Niagara. Now look at these events. Governor's reception, mayor's dinner, dedication ceremony, tour of the falls. Separate the activities between 1 and 3 the day after tomorrow, as though they were marking them for special attention. Maybe you can get Elliot Ness. CBI. Yeah.
Second thought, please come in.
Colonel Zaman.
My first reaction was to run. Or hide. That's why I slammed the door in your face. Then I said to myself, Robin, why run from the very thing you've been looking for all your life? A guy as rotten as you are. You see, that's my problem. At least that's one of them. I love to be afraid. Make me afraid.
Boo.
You can do better than that. Or shall I mix you a pitcher of martinis?
Well, two's usually enough.
Whatever happened to men like you? Rough and ready.
Whatever happened to Colonel Zaman, and who cares?
If I ever have a son, I'm going to teach him to hate women. That way he'll make a lot of women happy. He's out for at least another hour. That's another thing I like about you. You don't say much.
Well, strong and silent. It goes with rough and ready. Just a little more vermouth, please.
Two double features.
Come back in 10 minutes.
Now what?
Well, I told the CBI, then I figured I'd
CBI?
come and tell you. Yeah, they took my statement. They said something about a king and you being in charge of protecting him.
Remarkable. Only the eyes are different.
See, this guy drove by and I know it sounds ridiculous, but slap right in my hand like a process server, some kind of a schedule.
You may have saved the life of my king. At home, my army protects him. But here on this trip, when everyone is too trusting, I can't be too careful.
How's that go? Uneasy as the head that wears a crown?
Can you describe the man who gave you this?
I'm sorry I didn't get a look at him.
I don't know your name.
Stiles, Todd Stiles.
And where can I get in touch with you, Mr. Stiles?
Parkway Inn, but...
Destiny. Kismet. Whatever it's called. Brought you to me. And you shall be rewarded, I promise you. Dusty answer gets the soul when hot for certainties in this our life. Easily, I could have betrayed myself. He looks exactly like you.
Where do I find him?
You are not to go near him.
Colonel, where?
I'm delaying the execution.
Look, I happen to know you've got things all set up in your country, so the minute I drop it, your crowd takes over. You couldn't stop now if you wanted to. Don't you understand, Frank? It really makes it interesting. Well, now there's a cakewalk. Would you believe me? My conscience pain. Taking your money for a turkey shoot. Now it's beginning to snap, crackle, and pop.
How good bad music and bad reason sound when we march against an enemy.
It seemed like a pretty dry martini until I opened my big mouth. If I hadn't asked for more vermouth, maybe I wouldn't have gotten so wet.
Next signal.
I can park and wait.
No, I'll grab a bus back. I don't know how long it's going to take.
What can you buy for a mother who's got nothing? Well, she's got you.
Her birthday's Friday. Sure it'll get there on time?
Oh, it'll go out this evening by air, sir. Don't you worry.
Todd? Hey, Todd?
Boy, talk about a quick change. You just buy it? Pretty classy.
Gabardine.
I like the tie, too. I got Mom a robe. Guess it's not very imaginative, but... well, she spends half her life in robes. That's her uniform of the day. I remember one she had when I was a kid. It always smelled like bacon. When I was overseas and I'd think of Mom, I'd think of eggs sunny side up and a side of bacon. That's a great way to remember your mother, huh? Where'd you park?
Across the street in the parking lot. You go ahead, buddy. I'll catch up, huh?
I was wondering how long it'd take. Before you'd remember that you were walking out here without the clothes you came in with. What's with the film?
That's my present for Mom. I thought I'd take some pictures of you.
Ticket? Well, my buddy's got the ticket. Well, no, you just wait for your buddy.
The moment he's done, kill him. Even as the king falls, I want the life to be leaving Mr. Paul Cades. Do not fail me, Kawaji. I'm too fond of you. Find him. Stay with him. Live in his shadow until he and his shadow are one.
bauble from Colonel Zaman.
You can't just ignore 5,000 bucks. You know how many ditches you have to dig to earn 5 grand?
Of course, I'm not going to keep it.
$200 suits.
What are you talking about?
A $200 suit.
I guess this just isn't my day. $200 suits, $5,000 rubies.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm late for my date. And don't offer me the keys of the car. I dig buses and standing around in parking lots. Kid? Why not? They finally ran out of patterns. Ours was one of the better numbers. How old are you?
28. And you?
It varies. Where were you born? Under a neon light. But where? Look, kid, I know what you're thinking. Forget it. We're not brothers. We're not cousins. We'll never be friends. North Dakota. I was born in Connecticut. My father's name was Lee. What's this about killing a king?
He acts as though he knows he's being tailed. I'll turn into one of these houses. Simmons can pick him up at the next intersection.
Mine was named Virgil. He was a barber. He always got the chair by the back wall, never up front by the window, you know. But why not? He cut a lousy head of hair.
What happens if I decide to jump out of the car?
It's all timing, isn't it?
filthy thought, every lousy impulse? Are you the other side of me, the discards of me?
I'll be gone Wednesday. And so will you.
We have no definite proof yet, but circumstantial evidence is of such a nature that I suggest, Your Majesty, urge, if you'll forgive so strong a word, you don't disembark in Niagara Falls, but continue straight on to Los Angeles.
I am a simple man. Not in all things, you understand. In the oil business, for example, I suppose I could hold my own in, say, the Petroleum Club in Dallas, Texas. But what does that mean, actually? After all, when one sits atop the sands that sit atop an ocean of oil, he'd better know the difference between sand and oil. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Pearson?
Your Majesty, an American agent was shot and killed last night in Niagara Falls.
Lamentable, of course. But how can I believe that my colonel was in any way responsible?
He was seen yesterday morning talking to the man who shot the agent. He made a call to a mobile telephone in a car rented to a man using the name Paul Cadies. The call obviously in code. He met him later at the American Falls. There are other facts that have just come over to me on the radio. Your Majesty, I strongly urge you be suddenly stricken with virus. Don't leave this plane.
Your Majesty, Allah be praised for carrying you safely across the seas.
Allah and the State Department.
I am at your command.
Mr. Pearson, this is my sword and my shield. Colonel Zaman, Mr. Pearson is from Washington. Mr. Pearson feels I should be stricken with a virus.
When has His Majesty avoided danger?
And when has there ever been any danger? So long as I had my colonel, my sword, and my shield.
Everything awaits Your Majesty.
Then let us go.
Could have been any one of 4 other places, but it came up there. And that's why you're in. Because you work here. It's like somebody pulled the strings and put you, of all people, in this place at that time. And that's too bad. Because when I kill you, it's like I'm killing myself. You understand? Never killed a king before, but I'm not impressed. We all drop like laundry bags when it happens. You know what impresses me? You. You and me. That's the only thing in my whole life that ever impressed me. When do you kill me? Anytime now.
If it isn't old 5 Grand himself. I had a great evening, Mr. 5 Grand. Stayed out till 3. Came back full of forgiveness towards you, but you weren't here. So as far as I'm concerned, you're right back on my list. Oh, incidentally, you do remember that we're due at work at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Or have you retired?
Look, cover for me, will you, buddy? I got a real good thing going for me. I want to stay with it. You understand. I'll see you in the morning, first thing. That's definite.
No, I don't understand, but I'll cover. I'll see you tomorrow, Bluebeard. And remember, we're working the early shift.
Yeah, I'll remember.
Yeah.
Mr. Pearson, would you please excuse us for a moment? If I said to you, my Colonel, by taking your own life, you will permit this life of mine to go on, would you kill yourself at this very moment?
I am at your command, Your Majesty.
I detest violence, as you know, which accounts for my unpopularity. Now let us accept the possibility that some zealot has planned my death despite the arrangements you have made to prevent such nonsense. But we shall outwit him. You and I, Colonel, single-handed, we shall outwit him. You shall wear my ceremonial robes, my headdress. You will take my place at each public function. Here in Niagara Falls, you will be king. You will stay with the Colonel from now until we depart. Do not leave him for a moment. You see, I give you the most faithful of the faithful to prove my love for you. You and I are about the same size. My body armor should fit you. But then, what need is there for body armor in a city where, as you say, all is well? You are far safer in my ceremonial robes than if I insisted you plunge this dagger into your heart to prove your love for me.
Allah wills. My king commands.
Music to take a trip by. Did you ever feel a gum just above your eye tooth? Go ahead, feel it. Big, isn't it? Bigger than the rest of the roots.
That's what's left over, kid. From the time we settled things with our teeth. But the fangs wore off. And now we got 38s instead. I wasn't just torturing you, kid. I was really trying.
So long, kid. I wouldn't sit around in that car. I stole it this morning. You expect me to just wait while you kill a man and not even try and stop you?
I don't have any problem shooting other people, kid, just you. I'm going inside and I'm going to meet your friend and we're going to go to work, and when the king shows up, pow! Once I'm in the clear, I'll let your friend go. But if you try to stop me, if you even breathe near a cop, I'll kill your friend dead. To me, he's just one more white ant. Take care, kid.
are pretty cool. Come on, Bluebeard, spill it. The whole blow by blow.
Who kisses and tells?
How about Fritz's for lunch?
Give me that big wrench, will you? Thanks.
Time for lunch, kid.
Look at that. You're not eating. You want a diet?
Come on, kid, I want to show you something.
The treaty between the United States and Canada stipulates how much water must be allowed to pass over the falls. So more water must pass over during the summer months when the tourists come here from all around the world. Now, the treaty says that at least 100,000 cubic feet per second must flow over the falls during the daytime summer season, which ranges roughly from April to October.
You a kid?
Screen Gems presentation. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.